One
Ju
more.
just me, just me. Okay. So I believe in the last picture you showed that the producers and retailers probably can bargain on the exchange rates, and I wonder where from do you derive the model for this? Is there any model behind that, or it's your experience? That's the question, basically. Thank you.
There's a lot of questions. I will try to answer one by one, or to select this. We have a lot of time to answer. So, yeah. Alors, the first one is the good guy pay and not the over. Yes, you're right, but we have no way. We're only using complementary currency to force bad guys, that is guy producing bad goods, standard goods, to pay. It's this government that can initiate a policy to make these people pay. The only thing that we can do with a complementary currency is to help local producers that produce goods, quality goods, to be able to produce this good, and why not to accept this complementary currency, because when this currency is accepted, you increase the size of a network, and you have cumulative process, a good cumulative process, and this will help finally to sell this kind of quality goods, etc., etc. So you have not many solutions. One solution is to defend all conversion. It is not possible to make any conversion of this complementary currency. You are obliged to use them to make expenses. And the other one is to introduce some distinction between the conversion that is allowed by consumers, for retailers, and for producers. Producers are the last to receive this complementary currency. Probably it's hard for them to use this complementary currency for expenses. So you have to help them to accept it, and a way to help them is to decrease conversion cost. The penalties that you impose to them when they want to convert this complementary currency in national one. I don't know if I'm unclear on this kind. Labels. Yes, labels are not so easy to answer, so frequent. I try to answer your point as not so easy and too frequent, so frequent. So I think with Maël that complementary currency could be used as a substitute temporarily, at least for labels. For instance, you have tomatoes. You have not a label from local quality tomatoes, but you can have this complementary currency with a short association of people that will control they have a knowledge of tomatoes, quality, etc., and they have the mean to control if they are quality goods or standard goods, and if they are quality goods, they help them to convert complementary currency. If they are not quality goods, they don't help them, and complementary currency is not convertible in this case. So you have an incentive in this case. I don't know if I answer also to your question. You introduce an incentive from quality goods sellers to use use complementary currency. If they use complementary currency, people are sure that they are controlled by this association that promote complementary currency. They are able to sell to buy these quality goods at a higher price than if these quality goods are bought by a retailer that does not accept complementary currency. So this is a way to introduce complementary currency, not because we all love this kind of currency, but because we all love quality goods. You know? So, in a sense, what is the way to observe quality, to distinguish quality? This is difficult because we have ambiguous good. When you have a tomato and a tomato, this is still a tomato. But only scientific are able to say that this tomato is produced by non-respectful technology, and the other is produced by. But when you have inside the association promoting the complementary currency, also scientists that are able to observe with their own ACEs, analyzing the tomato, etc., then these scientific people can differentiate these quality goods and the standard goods. But not only, because we are scientists. Please.
It's a bit weird because when you say tomato, like there are some taste differences. Or in this case, isn't quality can be analyzed as what importance does the consumer like attach to it? Isn't the consumer that ultimately decides that like?
No, this is scientists.
But if it's like
When you have biological agriculture, is not a problem of mood. It's a problem of technique of production, etc., of biology.
yeah, but ultimately it's like there might be a taste different, or if like the consumer, because it sees it's an organic good, will assume it's a higher quality.
Yeah, but I use quality as a synonymous of biological, and this is not big tomatoes high quality and small tomatoes small quality. No, this is, you know. I don't know if I answer all. Yes, on the problem of bargaining. We plan to use, we have in economy Nash solution, bargaining solution. This is John Nash, you know, this big man that has introduced this bargaining solution. This is not so easy to introduce, even in this kind of small model. And for that, we plan to use only a simple assumption that they share each the gain of exchange is shared in two equal parts between retailers and produce. When you make this simple assumption, the model remains tractable. If not, if we want to generalize optimizing, for instance, it's more difficult. Yeah.